Is he about done over there? Close enough? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Again, I apologize to you for being a few minutes late in starting our regular meeting, but let me convene us at this time and call to order this meeting of the Macon-Bibb County Commission for this our regular meeting on Tuesday, October the 3rd. Again, the reason we're running a minute or two late was because some of us were getting our flu shots over here. And I would urge you and recommend that you consult with your physician and the health department about getting a flu shot, especially if you are a senior citizen. They can really help and really do you a lot of good. So the example that we set by getting our flu shots here tonight hopefully will cause some of you to rethink and get a flu shot yourself. So let's move on, though. We've got a late start, but let's move on and start with our agenda. As typical, we will start our meeting with an invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. I'm sorry, I should have given that more detailed instructions. Thank you, Commissioner Tillman. There's a flu shot right around the corner there in the doorway. But we'll start our meeting with an invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance. Invocation tonight will be given by Pastor Daniel Blackshear of the Word and Deed Ministry. Pastor Blackshear, if you'll come to the podium, and our Pledge of Allegiance will be led by three of our GCAP students. So would you please stand as you are able for the invocation and Pledge of Allegiance?
Let us bow. Dear Lord, we are gathered here on the occasion of trying to manage the affairs of all human beings. Nobody can govern, nobody can lead human beings quite like you. So we're asking you to fill our minds and our consciousness with your divine will so that we may lead your people to a place of peace, prosperity, and joy. Be with the mayor, be with his comrades, and bless us all, Father, that we may perform your divine will so that when we see you face to face, we may see you in peace. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Amen.
Please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Be seated. Again, thank you very much, Pastor Blackshear, Word and Deed Ministries, for being here and giving us our invocation. And we had three of our GCAP students. GCAP stands for Georgia Civic Awareness Program for Students, GCAPs. We had three of our GCAP students with us to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. First is Caston or Caston? Caston Hall. Caston, stand up for us, please, sir. Caston is a senior at Rutland High School, where he's been on the honor roll and holds distinction as having the highest average in the Air Force JROTC program. Caston believes, quote, civic education is important for today's youth, so we'll understand how we are to carry ourselves in our community and how to promote better ways for the people inside and out of our communities, unquote. Next is Henry Middlebrooks. Henry is also a senior, but he's at First Presbyterian Day School, where he is on the honor roll as a member of the National Honor Society. Henry was voted captain of the soccer team as a junior and has been involved in the school's basketball team. He is the senior class president and an intern for my local youth, where he tutors middle school kids. Henry believes, quote, civic duty is extremely important as it helps us not take our freedoms for granted. Being an American citizen is a privilege, unquote. And finally, Stephen Summerall. Stephen is a senior at First Presbyterian as well, where he is active in the National Society of High School Honors and the Spanish National Honors Society. He's a GCAPS alumni, having been part of the 2016-17 cohort. Stephen tutors math to fifth graders and believes, quote, civic education is important in today's youth because they are the leaders of tomorrow. Youth need to learn about their civics so that they are able to effectively lead in their community. You cannot be a productive citizen if you do not fully understand that the common good is the concern for all citizens, unquote. Stephen, thank you, Henry, and thank you, Caston, for being here tonight. Congratulations to you on being part of the GCAPS program and for the excellent academic record that you have accumulated thus far. Best wishes for you in the future. Next item on our agenda is the approval of the minutes, and the minutes of our September 19th pre-commission meeting and our September 19th regular commission meeting have been distributed. If there are changes, let me know. Otherwise, Chair will entertain a motion to move as distributed, printed, and delivered. By Schlesinger, second by Bechtel. Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the minutes signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The minutes are approved. Next, we've got a couple of invited guests. The first is from the Association of County Commissioners of Georgia and is here to talk to us about a wellness program. So without further ado, would you please come to the program, sir, and introduce yourself, because I don't have your name in front of me and I don't remember it, and I apologize to you for that.
My pleasure, Mayor. I'm Ben Pittarelli. I am the Health Program and Insurance Marketing Director for ACCG. And first of all, thank you and thank the members of the board. It's been a long time since I've been in front of this body. In fact, previously it was back when it was just Bibb County. So this is a pleasure and an honor this evening. I'm joined also today by Ms. Sharina Robinson with Local Government Risk Management Services. She is the Health Promotions Director and is responsible for providing wellness services to the counties and the cities around the state. And then also a member of your staff who's instrumental in you all getting this grant, Ms. Alicia Duhart. I think you know her as the training officer. We know her as the health promotion champion for Macon-Bibb County. And with that, if I could, last time I was here I didn't need these, but I apologize. ACCG does a lot of things around the state, as you all well know. We're responsible for civic engagement and legislative support, education and training, and one of the other pillars, or one of the other things we do, is member services. And one of the member services that we offer is the ACCG Group Health Benefits Program. This program started about 25 years ago. You all have been in it for many years, since 2008. It was started to help counties hopefully provide better health benefits more cost effectively. Provides ACCG oversight. It provides group buying power by pooling together the other counties that participate. Currently, the program covers a little over 20,000 employees and about 40,000 lives around the state. One of the key important points of that is that we started offering a health promotion grant many years ago, about 13 years ago. And this grant in particular has started off a very modest amount of money. It started off with $50,000 that we were giving back to the counties. And it's grown to over $150,000 a year now. And we've given back $1.2 million to the counties that participate and apply for the grant. And some of the things that you use for that grant that I'm sure Alicia has helped you all with is health screenings and health fairs and educational programs and things to give back to your county employees. And with that, I'll get to kind of the meat of the issue here. And I wrote it down so I wouldn't leave anything out, so please bear with me. Macon-Bibb County is to be commended for its long-term commitment to wellness and continuing to seek new ways to improve employee wellness, increase employee engagement, and for recognizing that its employees are its most valuable asset. It is my honor and distinct privilege to present this year's ACCG Health Promotion and Wellbeing Grant to Macon-Bibb County for the amount of $15,000.
Oh, hot diggity dog, hot diggity dog. That is absolutely fantastic, and we gratefully accept this grant from the ACCG, and you're absolutely right, not just in health and wellness programs and trying to lead the way and incentivize better health for our employees. You also are instrumental in the program for GCAPS. It was ACCG that initiated the GCAPS program several years ago, back in the I don't know when, a long time ago, and we thank you for that because it continues to bear fruit. So thank you very much to the ACCG. Please tell Ross King that we are most grateful and that we will make good use and a report of how we use that money so that you'll know it went to a good purpose.
Thank you very much, and please don't try to spend this in the drive-thru.
No, I'm not going to take that to the drive-thru. I promise. We'll wait for the real one to get here in the mail or direct deposit. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. Alicia, thank you. That's great. Anything further from you? You better believe it. I'll come down and get a $15,000 We have another invited guest tonight, and that's Mr. Todd Pund, who is the general manager of the new Coastal Plain baseball team. Todd, can I get you to come to the podium over here and tell us a word or two about the Coastal Plain baseball team and what you have got for us?
Well, first of all, thank you for the invite. Thank you, Mr. Mayor and the commissioners, for making this a possibility. As many of you know, we announced the name of the team last week. We had an event at the Georgia Sports Hall of Fame. It was well attended, pretty much standing room only in the auditorium. So we would like to present the commissioners with their first signature item, a Macon-Bacon t-shirt. It was placed on your seat.
Yeah!
So I don't know if you've known that night, everything was on ESPN, so Macon was in the national news that night. We've received great feedback from the community, from the business community, so we thank you and the entire Macon community for allowing us this opportunity. Thank you very much.
No, Todd, thank you. We appreciate the enthusiasm and excitement that you are generating. We can't wait for June the 1st to come around when we'll have the opening game of the 2018 season back in Luther Williams Field, newly renovated. They're in the process now of making about $2.5 million worth of improvements to Luther Williams. It's going to be a great venue, and I understand y'all have got great ticket packages for sale. Tell folks how they can get more information about tickets.
Yeah, you can visit our website, MaconBaseballBaseball.com.
Say that one more time.
MaconBaconBaseball.com.
MaconBaconBaseball.com. That's easy enough to remember. MaconBaconBaseball.com.
And with the excitement in the community, if you're a baseball fan or if you love entertainment, I would suggest you check out the ticket packages. We hope not to have any single game purchases this year, so our goal is to sell out everything in advance. So if you want to have a great summer fun, please come and visit us.
And I understand that ticket packages for five game packages.
Start as little as 5 games.
5 games, and each ticket is $15.
Yes, Mayor.
But that includes all you can eat hot dogs, hamburgers, French fries,
Oh, not fries.
No.
Just the proteins.
Oh,
Hot dogs, hamburgers, chicken
okay,
breast,
all right. Hot
soda,
dog, hot
water.
Dog.
So
That's right. Hot dogs, hamburgers, soft drinks.
soft drinks are included.
There you go. So for $15 a ticket, if you bought 5 one, that'd be $75. Give you five nights, all you can eat, and 5 games. This, that, or the other. Ought to be a lot of fun. Can't wait for June. Todd, thank you for being here. Thank you for the
Thank you.
T-shirts.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. No other invited guests tonight, but all of you are welcome here at your government center. We're delighted that you are here with us tonight to witness the Macon-Bibb County Commission in action, and we're glad that you are here. We'll move on now to public comments on agenda items. This is the opportunity for people that are here who have signed up to want to talk to us about an item that is on the agenda before we get to it and vote on it. People that want to talk to us about non-agenda items will be recognized later in the program. And I'm advised by the county attorney that everybody that is here that signed up for a non-agenda item issue. So we'll get to you a little bit later in the meeting. That takes us now to the next item on our agenda, which are reports from our standing committees. The first of those committees is Operations and Finance Committee, and that report will be given to us by Chairman Bechtel. Chairman Bechtel?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Operations Finance Committee met on September 26, 2017, took the following action. The committee approved the following agreements and contracts. Approved an agreement with T-Mobile South LLC to allow T-Mobile to replace and install additional panel antennas and related equipment on the county's tower structure located at 456 Guy Payne Road, and to increase the annual base rent to $52,000 for such additions. Also approved 6 local government lighting projects with Georgia Department of Transportation for 6 phases of the high mast interchange roadway lighting project on parts of I-16 and I-75. That will be for the work that is going on now. Also approved a 3-year renewal agreement with Strategic Products and Services LLC in the total amount of $90,118.20 for general IT repairs and maintenance software to be paid by general funds. Also approved a professional services agreement with TEP OPCO LLC in the amount of $44,300 for inspection and mapping of the county's 4 communication towers and associated equipment to be paid by 27 SPLOST bond proceeds. Also approved a work detail agreement with Georgia Department of Corrections for use of inmate labor from Dooley State Prison on public works projects in the total amount of $118,500. Committee also adopted changes to the health insurance plan coverage based on recommendations from BB&T and Blue Cross Blue Shield, and the committee also approved adjustments to the FY 2017 budget to reflect organizational changes where departmental expenditures were impacted. And that concludes the report of Operations and Finance for September 26th.
Thank you, Chairman Bechtel. Next, I understand that Economic and Community Development did not meet, and there is no report. No report from Economic and Community Development. That takes us to Public Safety Committee, and Chairman Shepard, Public Safety.
Committee met September the 26th and took the following action. The committee approved the mayor designating an appropriate departmental official to investigate and make recommendations to the commission regarding the purchase of automatic external defibrillators for Government Center, the courthouse, and other similar county facilities, and to request that the designated official investigate and make recommendations to the commission relating to the making first aid, CPR, AED training available to the employees of Macon-Bibb County and to the employees of the other county offices. This concludes the report of the Public Safety Committee.
Thank you, Chairman Shepard. And finally, Facilities and Engineering Committee. That report will be given to us by Chairman Tillman. Chairman Tillman?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Facilities and Engineering Committee report. We met on September 26, 2017. The committee heard an update from Representative Spectra on the events at the Coliseum and City Auditorium. The committee also approved a petition for the installation of 5 streetlights by Georgia Power in the Abington subdivision with the cost of said installation and maintenance to be paid by the property owners with monthly electrical costs to be paid to Macon-Bibb County. I did want to add that General Manager Lloyd Laud last day was Wednesday, September 26th. He was GM for the Macon City Center and Convention Center, so he is no longer with us. And I think it's Mr. Brookings that's a new GM, and I'll be inviting him over real soon to meet us.
Very good. Thank you, Chairman Tillman. The next item on our agenda is the consent agenda, and we have 2 alcohol beverage licenses that have been requested for us. Each of these 2 licenses is accompanied by the sheriff's certification that a background check has been done on the applicant and found to be satisfactory. Each is accompanied by the application fee and the business development service license application. Each one has a certificate of zoning compliance so that it's in the proper zone. Each one has the measurement form certification by the county engineer to say that it meets all of the distance requirements away from churches and schools and other restricted structures, and each one is also accompanied by the ad that ran in the Macon Telegraph to advise people. The first of these 2 is for Tom's Mart at 4381 Mercer University Drive, and that is for beer and wine package sales to go at that location, 4381 Mercer University Drive. The second is by the Kitchen Pride Food Store at 3101 Columbus Road, which is also known as 3101 Mercer University Drive, and that is for beer package sales to go, just beer package sales to go. Committee of the Whole reviewed these and recommends approval. Is there further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the issuance of those 2 licenses as requested signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it, and those 2 licenses will be issued as requested. Next item on our agenda is old business. But before I get to old business, I see somebody sitting in the audience that I really meant to recognize back in the invited guest, and that's Dan Rhodes from the 21st Century Partnership. Dan, would you like to say anything to us or just be recognized? Come up without objection, please. I should have done this several minutes ago under invited guests. We're delighted that you're here, Dan, and we'd love to hear a little bit more about what you're doing with the 21st Century Partnership.
Thank you, sir. And County Commissioners, I appreciate you having me up here. As you well know, we were getting ready to have the second annual congressional breakfast. Unfortunately, they got delayed due to Hurricane Irma. Looks like that's going to be on first part of December, possibly the 5th and 6th. We'll get some invitations out on that shortly, as soon as we get things firmed up. Just letting you know that. And that's all for right now. If you have anything that y'all need, please contact me. And I'm here to support Macon-Bibb and all of our Middle Georgia counties.
Dan, thank you very much for that update. We support Robbins Air Force Base, and we're glad you're down there with the 21st Century Partnership to try to lead us in that effort. Thank you very much for being here tonight. Back to the standard order of business under old business. Item A is a resolution to authorize the execution of a contract for a tower maintenance structure and additional panel antennas, and I'm going to ask the clerk to read that by caption.
A resolution of the Macon-Bibb County Commission authorizing the mayor to execute a First Amendment to the lease agreement with T-Mobile South LLC to allow T-Mobile to replace and install additional panel antennas and related equipment on the county's tower structures located at 456 Skypane Road, and to increase the annual base rent to $52,000 for such additions and for other lawful purposes.
Operations and Finance Committee recommends approval. Is there further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the resolution signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The resolution is adopted. Next is a resolution to authorize the installation of multiple high-mast streetlights on the I-16, I-75 construction, and I'll ask the clerk to read that by caption.
A resolution of the Macon-Bibb County Commission authorizing the mayor to execute 6 local government lighting project agreements with the Georgia Department of Transportation for 6 phases of the High Mask Interchange roadway lighting project on parts of I-16 and I-75 within Macon-Bibb County and for other lawful purposes.
Operations and Finance Committee recommends approval. Is there further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the resolution signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the resolution is adopted. Next is a resolution authorizing a 3-year renewal agreement for maintenance of our telecommunications equipment in the IT department, and I'll ask the clerk to read that by caption.
A resolution of the Macon-Bibb County Commission authorizing the mayor to execute a 3-year renewal agreement with Strategic Products and Services, LLC, in the total amount of $90,118.20 for general IT repairs and maintenance software to be paid by general funds from the Macon-Bibb County IT Department and for other lawful purposes.
The Operations and Finance Committee recommends approval. Is there further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the resolution signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The resolution is adopted. Next is item D, which is a resolution for some professional services agreement for the inspection and mapping of the county's 4 communication towers and associated equipment, and I'll ask the clerk to read that by caption.
A resolution of the Macon-Bibb County Commission authorizing the mayor to execute a professional service agreement with TEP OpCo, LLC in the amount of $44,300 for inspection and mapping of the county's 4 communication towers and associated equipment to be paid by 2017 bond proceeds, 2018 SPOS funds, and for other lawful purposes.
The Operations and Finance Committee recommends approval. Is there further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the resolution signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The resolution is adopted. Next is a resolution to use a work detail out of Dooley State Prison and contract for them for public works, and I'll ask the clerk to read that by caption.
A resolution of the Macon-Bibb County Commission authorizing the mayor to execute a work detail agreement with the Georgia Department of Corrections for use of inmate labor from Dooley State Prison on public works projects in the total amount of $118,500 and for other lawful purposes.
Operations and Finance Committee recommends approval. Is there further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the resolution signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the resolution is adopted. Next is a resolution authorizing some roof repair expense on the courthouse annex, and I'll ask the clerk to read that by caption.
A resolution of the Macon-Bibb County Commission authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement with Horizon Roofing, LLC in the amount of $61,777 for the courthouse annex roofing repair project and for other purposes.
The Operations and Finance Committee recommends approval. Is there further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the resolution signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The resolution is adopted. Next is a committee amendment and resolution to approve and adopt recommendations 1, 2, and 3 proposed by BB&T and Blue Cross Blue Shield of Georgia related to helping control Macon-Bibb County's cost in providing health insurance coverage. I understand that there's some concern about that bill and a motion to refer it back to committee.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I don't know that my opinion has changed in any way, shape, or form, but I do think this deserves another go-round and discussion like we had last week. So my motion is to refer this item back to committee for discussion at the committee meeting next Tuesday.
Got a motion second by Commissioner Lucas with a close third by Commissioner Watkins to refer it back. Is there further discussion? Well, actually, a motion to refer back is the equivalent to a motion to table, so there's no discussion. All in favor of tabling this, referring it back to committee for further action, signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. This is tabled and referred back to committee for further discussion, and will be taken up next Tuesday. Next is item H, which is an ordinance to adjust the 2017 budget for year-end adjustments, and I'll ask the clerk to read that by caption.
An ordinance of the Macon-Bibb County Commission to adjust FY 2017 budget to reflect organizational changes where departmental expenditures were impacted and other year-end adjustments.
Operations and Finance Committee recommends approval. Is there further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the ordinance signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the ordinance is adopted. Next is a resolution to request that the mayor designate and take appropriate investigative actions for some external defibrillators and training, and I'll ask the clerk to read that by caption.
A resolution of the Macon-Bibb County Commission to request that the mayor designate an appropriate departmental official to investigate and make recommendations to the commission regarding the purchase of automatic external defibrillators for Government Center, the courthouse, and other similar county facilities, and to request that the designated official investigate and make recommendations to the commission related to making first aid CPR AED training available to the employees of Macon-Bibb County and to the employees of other county offices and for other purposes.
The Public Safety Committee recommends approval. Is there further discussion? Commissioner Lucas?
Yes, Mr. Mayor and fellow commissioners. I agree 100% with the intent of this resolution. And because I don't think that there's anybody who disagrees with the intent of it, I'd like to offer a floor amendment, and I've gotten the approval of the main sponsor, Commissioner Allen, and the co-sponsor, Commissioner Shepard, to offer this floor amendment, which calls for the approval of the purchase rather than studying and stuff. We all know who's going to do all that. So we don't need to waste time with doing this. This is very important. And this floor amendment calls for the approval of the purchase of automatic external defibrillators, the AEDs, for Government Center and the courthouse, and to approve making first aid CPR AED training available to the employees of Macon-Bibb County and to the employees of other county offices, and I so move.
Got a motion and second for a floor amendment. Is a discussion about the floor amendment in and of itself? The first question I have is I don't even know how much these things cost. So without some idea of how much they're going to cost, I don't know how many to buy. Second, I don't know where they ought to be installed and who we can get to use them. I understand that they're not that difficult to use, but I would prefer to at least investigate the amount and come back to you with a purchase price rather than just start. I recognize the urgency, and I'm not trying to delay this. I just think that it would be prudent to find out the cost and exact locations of where we're going to put them. One per floor, one on the second floor.
Right.
You know,
I think that there are already some standards in place for where you put these things and all of that. And I think we've got the employees who already are aware of all of this. They've probably just been waiting for us to take action on it. So I think all that can be accomplished, but we didn't want to wait on something like this, because we don't know how much a plant is going to cost. We don't know how much a tree is going to cost. We don't know how much a lot of the things that we purchase will cost, but we know that we've got to purchase those things. So I would just respectfully ask that we approve the floor amendment.
Is there further discussion on the floor amendment? Commissioner Tillman?
Yes, sir. There's a young lady named Miss Megan Gordon. She sent out information to us. I don't know how many of y'all saw it, and she was saying that she would like to see our first responders have at least 2. And so when you're talking about first, okay, so the EpiPen, what's the EpiPen and
Yeah, that's different from an external defibrillator, which is to start your heart.
Okay. So the first responders of the ambulatory service, don't they already have that? No. Okay. She want them to have 2. She want when you say when we talking about first responders, my question is, we know that we set the budget for the Macon Fire Department. Yeah, we have a control and authority over. But as far as the ambulatory service, I mean, when we saying, and of course we need to get these, but who would be getting them? And
Well, I don't know, but that's out of order for this. What we're talking about external defibrillators, and not EpiPen. So we'll have to come back another time and talk about EpiPen. This is about external defibrillators. Do you have a comment about?
No, go ahead.
Is it further discussion, Chairman Bechtel?
My only request is I think that all of us around the table and understand the need. I would like to do what you requested, Mayor, is to find out all the details. Can we make the motion that we know we need to buy them, but can we get the information and then make the purchase? I mean, everybody understands we can you understand what I'm asking, Commissioner Lucas? That your motion is contingent on the information coming in. So
Commissioner, well, hold on a half second. I had Mayor Pro Tem next, then I'll get to you. Mayor Pro Tem?
I just want to support the amendment to purchase with the understanding that we know we got to determine how many we can buy and what they're going to be done with. But I think this helps expedite it, and I think this needs to be expedited. So I'm sure the administration is going to check into all of that, and that can be brought back where you can tell us how many we can afford, how we're going to pay for them, and all that.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Commissioner Allen?
Mr. Mayor, we know what the defibrillators cost because we purchase them, and you just need to make a phone call at the purchase and say how much the defibrillator run from $1,700 to $2,400. We know the cost of those. We know that the training will be done. Won't cost us hardly anything. It shouldn't cost us anything. The first aid boxes that we put on these units where people can, those are not very expensive to do that. So you can have Band-Aids, especially around here. As I told you the other day, we had an incident up here that I needed a Band-Aid, and that's not very expensive. But I agree. Let's call tomorrow, find out which one we want to go with through the fire department or the American Heart Association or the Red Cross, and find out what we already got on these units, especially your fire units. You want to stay focused on what we're dealing with, and don't have different brands out there. Just work the way we need to work it, and that's all I got to say. We need to do this.
Is there further discussion on the floor amendment? Hearing none, I assume you're ready to vote. All those in favor of the floor amendment signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. We've adopted the floor amendment. Now, all in favor of the passage of the floor amendment signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The floor amendment is adopted. That brings us now to item J, which is a resolution to approve installation of street lights in a certain subdivision, and I'll ask the clerk to read that by caption.
A resolution of the Macon-Bibb County Commission approving a petition for the installation of 5 street lights by Georgia Power in the Abington subdivision, with the cost of said installation and maintenance to be paid by the property owners, and with the monthly electrical costs to be paid by Macon-Bibb County and for other purposes.
The Facilities and Engineering Committee recommends approval. Is there further discussion? Mr. Watkins?
So, what the cost of this project to Bibb County?
The street light project?
Yes, sir.
It would be the cost of the electricity, which we
How much is that?
we typically budget that by year as part of the budget process. Electricity.
Adding these new lights onto that, on top of that, right? Because this is not budgeted today because we're going to install them, I don't know, maybe next week. So the cost of the installation and the cost of the monthly, we're estimating that to be what? I mean, because I don't want to vote on something and not know cost.
Your point's well taken. I don't know the answer to that. No, we the residents pay for the installation.
Okay, and for the monthly cost of the county?
Monthly cost of the electricity is ours.
We do that?
We do that.
Okay, how
Right.
much?
I don't have a figure. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. It'd just be covered in the same pot of money that we allocate each year to pay streetlight bills. Right. So the number of kilowatts, and that can vary, I guess, by the time of day it operates, et cetera. But we budget for that just annually as a lump
We're
sum.
agreeing to do this with no clue as to actually how much it costs, and you sponsored this?
Right.
Points made.
Yeah, your point. If you're trying to say we do some things without knowing exactly what they cost, yeah, okay. Point made. Any further discussion? No. Okay. Is there further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor of the resolution for the install. You've read this, hadn't you? Yeah. All in favor of the resolution for installation of the street lights, signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The resolution is adopted. That brings us to new business to read, and there is no new business at this time, but I'm confident that the Attorney's Office will be bringing down additional resolutions later this week. We publish the agenda on Friday, so I would urge you to go online or come down to the clerk's office, get a copy of the agenda on Friday for the commission meetings that will take place next Tuesday beginning at 9 o'clock in the morning in the commission conference room behind us. That'll be the 10th, I think, because today's the 3rd. So that'll be October the 10th, 9 o'clock a.m. Check your agenda that comes out later this week to find out what the committees are going to be looking at that meeting. That brings us now to the final item on our agenda, which are public comments on non-agenda items. These are just general comments that people want to make to us about things in general. And the first is Katina Wright, who wants to talk to us about sidewalks on Ayers Road. Ms. Wright, thank you very much for your patience. You are recognized for 5 minutes if you'll come to the podium. And just adjust that microphone. You have to talk right into it so we can hear you.
Hello, my name is Katina Wright, and I thank you for this opportunity to speak with you concerning a matter that I feel is a safety issue, and that is the lack of sidewalks on Ayers Road. I am legally blind, and my family will be moving to Ayers Road in a few weeks. My younger two sons already attend Covenant Academy, located down the road from our new home. And the road area, the side areas adjacent to the road are uneven and overgrown by weeds, making it difficult for me to maneuver, and I would love to be able to walk my sons to and fro from school safely. I've noticed that the children that get off the bus in their area sometimes have difficulties in their area walking or just walking the street. I also noticed that elderly people have the same problem, and I'm sure that motorists would appreciate pedestrians not being in the road when they have dark mornings or rainy mornings or foggy mornings, and I'm asking that you would consider the construction of sidewalks on Ayers Road to be safer for not just my family, but all citizens, be them motorists or pedestrians, young and old. Thank you again for your time.
Thank you very much, Ms. Wright. We appreciate you being in, appreciate you bringing that to our attention. Next is Mr. Duncan Soror, who wants to talk to us about the Transit Authority and littering. Mr. Soror, thank you very much for your patience. We appreciate you being here. You're recognized for 5 minutes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and the commissioners. I live over on Northside Drive, and lately, maybe it's gone for a while, I haven't noticed, but especially recently, there's been a lot of trash over on Northside Drive, and I'm sure it's other areas of Macon, but I'm mainly on Northside Drive, so that's where I see it. One Saturday, I spent about between 30 and 40 minutes of my time just picking up the trash around there. I mean, it was a lot, and I couldn't even get all of it. And within a week or two, it was just back to the same. So I know we have a lot of PSA, public service announcements here. We try to keep citizens aware of certain things, whether it be unwanted pregnancy or health in general. So I think we need some more reinvigorated, anti-littering campaign. I don't know, some on billboards or signs, but I really think we need a more aggressive approach. Maybe both. I'm not sure how if we can. You can't really catch someone in the act if they throw some trash out their car window. I know. I mean, I mainly use a sidewalk, so maybe if you're driving your car, the trash isn't as visible. But I ride my bike and I'm on my feet when I'm walking the sidewalk, so the trash, it's pretty obvious. So even if you're driving from your car, I think it's pretty noticeable. So I would encourage citizens of Macon, please, have some respect for your community and for your fellow civilians. Please don't throw your trash out the window. Put it in your bag, put it in your pocket. I mean, there's always a trash can nearby. Please don't do that. And whatever the city can do on that, I'm sure there's a variety of methods that can be used to encourage people not to litter and to just keep trash off the streets and off the grass and off various properties and premises. As far as Macon Transit, I spoke to Commissioner Schlesinger once, and I also spoke to one of the bus drivers about. This is tied into one of the large issues that I've spoken to once before at the commission meetings about climate change. I know that's such a big issue, especially in light of the more immediate relevant issues we often bring to county commission meetings. But I think it's important, I know a lot of us probably won't be here within 50 years or 20 years, but and I always haven't been the best when it comes to planning for the future, but I care about my future, and I care about the future of everyone here and everyone, period. So I think that's something to be taken more seriously. I know that's something more in the realm of the state and federal government. If I could, I'd go to the state capitol. If I could, I'd go to Washington and speak to the House and to the Senate, but I can't. But I'm going to speak to whoever I can. So going that, what I was trying to address was the possibility. I know it's been discussed before, but they did a cost-benefit analysis of electric buses, and I suppose they thought it would be too expensive. The charge would take too long. It was just impractical at this point in time. But so I just wanted to put that in the atmosphere once again. So just those two issues: the electric buses in the future, whenever and also tied to that, if Macon Transit is going to be incorporated into the city again. So Macon Transit and littering. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Swirl. We appreciate your patience, appreciate you being here, and appreciate your comments. Agree with you about littering being a problem and expanding routes for the transit authority. Good comments. We appreciate you being here. Next, Mr. Willie Frazier wants to talk to us about the Pleasant Hill area. Mr. Frazier, thank you very much for being here. You're recognized for 5 minutes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and to all of the commissioners. I stand here continuing to talk about Pleasant Hill because it's a historic district as well as all of the other historic districts here in Macon. I've become a part of the Linwood Cemetery Foundation, and the thing about that is Linwood is historic, and all of the people that's out there in Linwood, irregardless of whether they're alive or gone, in which they are gone, but there was prominent people that made a difference. And when I go out to Linwood and I see all of the high bushes and I see all of the graves, you can't even read the names on them and different stuff, it breaks my heart because that's our history. And the thing about it, every day of your life you make history. It depends on you to whether your family carries your history and your friends, or whether you do something great and the world carries your history. So I stand here today letting you all know that we got to care about the history in Macon. There's a lot of history, and there's a lot of you that stood for that at one time. There's a lot of you that stood for the Booker T. Washington Center over there, and it's closed right now. A lot of you stood for the Art Jones Center, and it's slated on the Fade and Five. I don't know if a lot of you know what the Fade and Five is, but there are places that's historic in this city that's slated that if it's not used, then it's gone. But we got our generation, our kids, our grandkids and stuff like that need to know what all of that meant, because a lot of people gave their blood, sweat, and tears for those places and to put those times in, and I don't want to lose that. You know, when it comes to the Art Jones Center in Pleasant Hill, I went over there and walked around, and it broke my heart so that I'm willing to go over there. If somebody would let me use some equipment, I'll cut down the bushes. And I won't even charge it because I know what it means. And I'm searching out my own history, and I'm searching out things in my life of what I can do to make changes. Each one of you up there are making changes in this city, and a lot of the changes are great changes, but we need changes in all of these areas. Linwood shouldn't be representing death because there's dead people that's out there. It should be representing life. There should be benches out there. There should be new trees out there. There should be people that's wanting to go out there and sit and visit relatives or visit people that made changes and made differences. And I'm going to push for that, and I'm going to speak on that until it's looked at. Because you know what? I'm starting in that one corner, and it's not all about Pleasant Hill. It's about the fact that if somebody see the change and recognize the change, it can go from Pleasant Hill to East Macon, from East Macon to South Macon, from South Macon to West Macon. Because when you lead in something that makes a difference, guess what? Somebody going to be willing to follow you at some point and sometime. And I really hope that people get involved in the history in this city, because the younger generation is not going to know. And it ain't just about my history or black history or whatever is over in Linwood. It's about all of that history. The last time I spoke to you, I even said gray history, and what gray is everything that's in between. Instead of being separated, we in this city need to come together. It's so hard to get the whole world to come together. The thing about the whole world, we all so separated in everything that we do that we can't pull together in unison and make too much of anything happen. I'm tired of the separation. I want to make great changes in this city where I live at, because I heard too many people saying ain't nothing in Macon no more. I'm getting ready to leave. We can't make it here, and this, that, and the other. The devil is a lie. We can make it happen in this city. We've been making it happen in this city, and I intend to make it happen in this city. Thank you, Mayor, and thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Frazier. We appreciate you being there. Appreciate your passion, sir. And next, Miss Sarah Hunt is here, and she wants to. It looks like she wants to talk to us about theft by taking. Theft by taking. Ms. Hunt, thank you very much for being here. Pull that microphone down so we can.
Theft by taking. That's when you take something that don't belong to you and you illegally take it from somebody. You have charged us garbage fees where you're not even collecting garbage. The lights are off. Georgia Power doesn't charge us any light bill. The water is off. Macon Water Authority does not charge us any water bill. But Macon-Bibb County does not collect any garbage, but you're going to charge us a garbage fee. We're not going to take that sitting down. We are organizing ourselves as citizens. Right now, it's 187 of us. And I have not even done a press release to tell the other 100,000 what we are doing. We've already contacted the legal department with National Action Network, MSNBC legal department, CBS legal department, ABC legal department, 60 Minutes, I contacted Oprah Winfrey, and I've also asked Gail on CBS to be a part of this. I've asked Ellen DeGenerate to assist us, financially so, with this battle. We're coming after you. We're not going to take this sitting down because it's unfair. If you care about your citizens, Why would you charge them something that you are a service that you're not rendering? Secondly, when you collect that garbage fee, what are you doing with it? I'm one person, $300 for a house out in Village Green, that when the tenant tore it up, the sheriff department went down and asked for a warrant against the man that destroyed it, and the judge refused to issue one. Now, I can't even rent the house until I get it totally remodeled. But I got to pay $300 for garbage fees that's not being collected, no garbage being collected there. Oh, I don't think so. I'm a senior citizen with fixed income, and I can't afford it. I'm not the only one. There, right now, my phone has been blowing up since I've been sitting over there with folk calling about the same issue. You say that you love the people. We sent you here to work for us, and you're working against us. Now, who are we filing charges against? I have asked some attorneys to take this on pro bono. They have agreed to. We're coming after the mayor and the commissioners that voted for this. God bless you.
Thank you, Ms. Hunt. We appreciate you being here, appreciate your passion. Finally, Ms. Cleotrice Dickerson also wants to talk to us about trash. Ms. Dickerson? Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much for being here. You're recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you so much, Mayor.
And be sure and adjust that microphone and talk right into it. That's right. Talk right into it so we can hear you. Yes, ma'am.
And the commission, thank you all. I live in Lizella, Georgia, and I live in the woods. No one picks up my trash. I'm a single woman. I received a letter stating that I need to pay $300 annually for a garbage bill nothing's never been collected there. I have to get rid of my trash myself. So I want to know why. And furthermore, you say $300, but annually they only pay $240. It's only 4 quarters, and they pay $60 a quarter. So I'm trying to figure out where this is coming from. Is it some kind of scam, or what's really going on? That's all I want to know. And thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Dickerson. Well,
that is not going to happen. I just want to let you know. I'm not paying that.
We appreciate you being here. Thank you very much for your passion and your information. That's all of the public comments on non-agenda items. That brings us to the end. There are no requests for, a point of personal privilege? Is somebody over here requesting a point of personal privilege? Point of personal privilege, Commissioner Lucas?
What I've got to say. Yes, they do. I have to say 2 things. First of all, Ms. Hunt, thank you, and the other lady, thank you. I voted against all of that. I think it's unfair, and I think over time we're going to find out. The other thing I want to do is to invite the folks on the east side of town on Thursday evening, I believe it is. Mr. Floor, is it Thursday evening, for a meeting about recreation, about the Dolores Brooks Recreation Center and proposed improvements to that center over there. What's the time? 6 to 8, and we want to have a really good turnout. But while we're there, we're going to discuss some issues like Jeffersonville Road and why we can't get that going, what we can do about that. And we'll also talk about some of the other issues that people have concerns about, like the garbage fee. So we encourage you to show up at Dolores Brooks Park on Okmulgee East Boulevard, Thursday evening, 6 to 8. We'll start at 6.
Thank you, Commissioner Lucas. No other points of personal privilege brings us to the end of our agenda. Can get a motion to adjourn. Motion second. Without objection, we are adjourned. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate it. I'm glad you did. I'm glad I